Now we are on and we are moving. We moving, we rolling, we rolling, we rolling. So hi everybody, my name is Majesty Angel. I just want to say thank you so much for those who come by and you have the honor. Well, not the honor, but you have the time and you have the consideration to actually take your time into listening to my lives and my videos and things that I share. Thank you to a lot of different people who have been liking a lot of great things that I have in my community posts. And my community posts, I try to stay in a great wave, right? So a lot of people, I like to call myself like the Hood Chronicles or the Love Doctor. That's what I like to call myself. And I always love to stay in great energy, right? I don't know about what everybody else is going on, but I always try to break the stereotype of something or that's what's going on that the world don't understand, right? So at this particular time, it's just on steroids, a lot of different opinions about so many different things, and people actually honestly have to be careful of the different opinions and the different counsels that people are giving, right? Because a lot of the stuff that's going on out there is very, very messed up. um, it can destroy a lot of different things. It can destroy a lot of good relationships. And basically, it can destroy the way that men and women think, right? When you are trying to go to receive something so you can get it for your own understanding. So, this is what I took out from a lot of crap that I seen today, right? Because a lot of people are they the misunderstanding for everything. Like I never seen so much stuff on the scale that's so imbalanced, and that's why I always like when you have a lot of realness within it, right? So I always like to say to pay attention, and also pay attention when you have a lot of people who are speaking godly way, right? Because some people don't work like that, right? And I think that's what make relationships or whatever that you're trying to do. You have to find out who you are, right? And you have to find out whatever situation that you are dealing with, the force of it, right? So I always like to say a lot of people get the wrong results because you're not understanding what you're looking at. You like, what am I talking about? And it's for a lot of people. You have to understand. You have to ask yourself: Are you dealing with a follower or are you dealing with an alpha? You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? A person, a woman, a man that is capable. He understands his authority. He understands his power and his drive. Meaning he's a leader, right? And I think a lot of people get that part very, very messed up, because if you honestly understand somebody and you know, or he have the abilities or the qualities, right? Because it's like sometimes, why would you follow a fool to damnation, right? And that shit can also happen within a relationship. People don't look at that part. Is my partner an alpha? Is he a leader? Do he possess those skills, right? And men have to look at that shit as well, because a weak minded or a weak vessel soul of a woman can cause a man a whole bunch of unnecessary problems. That's why you'll have a whole bunch of different men. What you think? Some of these men, how I would think so, because women need to be like that. I have to observe the situation. I have to observe what's going on, and however that is going, right? So I always like to say for some people, because listen, I don't know. Oh God, you like, why? Because right now it just seems like to me that all of these women are just so pressed to be married, right? And when you have a whole bunch of women who are pressed to be married, they settle for a whole bunch of different things. They start demanding a lot of different things from out of their partners, right? Or they start, or they start asking for a whole bunch of different, I said that, asking for a whole bunch of different things. They start hitting around the house and shit, start leaving a whole bunch of clues and stuff like that. And then this is why you have a lot of different men, or you have some men who thought that they have matched up with the right person, or they think that they have a traditional, and then you have a lot of women who don't understand that traditional role, or you have some women who be like, this nigga just want me to sit in the house. But then they have to also find out, can she sit down? Is she able to sit down? What's her brain wave like, right? So I always like to say for a lot of different people who don't understand that, because you have some women, I always feel like that sometimes when you're not looking for something, you're you know when you're not, how can I say this, right? For a woman that's not looking to be married, meaning like that, like she's not pressed to be married. If she's going to get married, she's going to get married, but she understands her first main goal, and her main goal is to make sure that she's okay. Now you get that message between a woman that want to make sure that she's okay, between an independent woman, an independent, and a person that just want to make sure that she's okay. It gets thrown off because a woman that's very, very independent like that will give a man problems. She'll always be very, very argumentative. You know what I mean? She will always say, "Well, I don't need this and I don't need that." And every woman on this planet, as much as some women are very, very independent, you do need that type of a structure of a man like that. So that's why you have a lot of men that's saying, "Okay, well, if you're so independent like that, I understand, bitch. I understand why you're alone, right?" And then you have, because a lot of men say, for some women, they boast out their chest, "Well, what do you do?" And then they start saying, "Well, I have this, masters. I have this, and I have that." But you lack on that aspect of just understanding what I need to be, right? And then that's how you have a lot of women, because you'll have a lot of women that say, "Well, I need to mess with a nigga that makes more money." Or then you'll have a guy that's saying, "Well, I can't mess with a woman who makes more money than me." So the whole scales of it, like I said, is very, very, very messed up. And this is why a lot of men get they don't understand and they get left behind, right? Because a lot of, it's not, what I'm trying to say is, people always get it misconfused. So you really, really think, and for some women who understand, and some guys know it. So it's not like, nah, she's not chasing after me the way that she's, however that it may be. She's chasing more of she's chasing more of a self-healing. She's chasing more of a development. She's chasing more of bettering herself. What's the bettering herself? Understanding that the different lacks. And that's sometimes with a man, if you're dealing with somebody like that and he really care for you like that, then this is what he's going to do. He's going to make you tighten up a little bit, right? And you have some men that, because they know if she tighten up like that, they feel like their power is going to be stripped away. So this is where a lot of people have to understand the power of manipulation, right? So then you have a lot of women who get mad, or however that it may be, because now they feel like this nigga is supposed to do a lot of different things, which he's not going to do all of those different things. A man is only going to, he's going to want to do only the things that he feel like he want to, right? What do I mean like that? Like a man who really loves you, a man who really cares about you, a man who really wants you, he's going to make that effort and he's going to make that shit be known. It's not going to be second guessing. It's not going to be, if you don't know, you don't understand, right? But because of, let's take this bullshit out, because of the times that's going on nowadays, they don't really understand. Because people come with facades and shit. They come in there saying that they want this and they want that. I don't know why I'm saying this. For, especially for niggas in that aspect. Take away some of the stuff. You like, what is it? Yeah. Sometimes you gotta give people a trick or something like that. That understand or that actually see, right? Because for a lot of them baiting women, you like, what is a baiting woman? A baiting woman is just a bitch that's just trying to bink because she's trying to get a little bit something from out of you, right? And then this other girl said, which I understand it, but this is the difference between women, right? So if a woman actually have, and this will drive them crazy sometimes, because you will have some women who never ever experience certain lifestyles that a certain guy can provide to them. Or you just have some women who just never actually understood when a man send you flowers, or a man bring you home flowers and shit like that, or a nigga go buy you this, that, and the third. So for a woman who never experienced that, however that it might be, and then she's no longer there, she becomes crazy. She becomes very, very stalkish. Or this is what she do now. Now her next target and her next goals is to be able to sustain and keep this life that she had with this first nigga, right? That's why the first, like I was trying to say earlier today, when a girl was trying to say something about it's no longer good men out here. There's a lot of good men out here. They just not stupid and they not fucking retarded, right? Their eyeglasses on a lot of different things are open, right? So then on that flip note, because I seen a man say, "Well, I ain't gonna talk to a bitch if she ain't got nothing," right? So this is the perception. I always was saying, for the image, because some people feel like people are just not showing up in that clause, right? Now you do have some women who just don't do nothing. That's just what they do. I be arguing about shit like that all the time. Sometimes when I get into ruffles with people, because you do have us black women, or just women just thrown in this bunch that everybody just don't want to do nothing, that a lot of us just want to sit home, right? And a lot of women are not like that. You like, what do I mean? You have a lot of women who are working and they're grinding. You have a lot of women who go to school. You have a lot of women who are trying to do something like that, right? So it's very, very crazy. I think that is crazy, but it happens. A nigga will study a girl's fucking progress, and because he feels like she's not able or she's not capable at that moment, you know what I mean? Then he'll overlook her, not knowing what the fuck that she's doing. But I always say, for that's people's loss, really is. So did I say this? So the guy said that every time I heard, he said, when a woman say, he said, any woman over 30 is a done deal, right? She no longer what he say, any woman over 30, um her cards have been handled to her, meaning she's no longer going to be suitable or access to be able to be in a relationship. It's like it's a done deal for her. No, what happened is when women, or because it's women and men, when you have women and men who have hit that certain pinnacle within their life, right? They're not going to allow certain things. So it's not like because her age is making her sit down, it's her wisdom that she have obtained throughout her life. Now, and this is what give people a lot of pinnacles. I always look at that shit though too sometimes. For well, however that it may go, because you would say, oh, niggas say, oh, she got kids, this is that and the third, and some niggas would penalize her for that, or however it may be. But you don't understand. And then they say, okay, well, I could see from how many kids that you had that you didn't make a bad mistake. I'm not laughing, but it's the realness about it, right? So I always say sometimes, so you have women who were penalized, right? But you do have women who have kids back to back, right? And some women penalize people when they're in that situation because they have multiple kids, because they feel like they don't understand, or they didn't understand, or they didn't choose right, and this is why. So guess what, they kept turning over, and this is where it becomes to how many baby fathers that the girl have, and this is that and the third, and they look at it as a problem, right? But I always look at it sometimes a little bit different. For she didn't know, right? Dealing with how young or when she had the kid, right? Because a lot of people don't know, right? A lot of women, they go off of their feelings and their emotions, and they think that they're going to be with somebody for a very, very long time until they have a baby. That's how that shit be sometimes, right? And then they actually find out at this particular time they did not have anything in common at all, right? Or it was just a mistake, or however that it may be. So guess what? Now they break up. It's a lot of girls who I see like that. I have a baby girl who's like that. However that the shit may be, and because they broke up, I shouldn't tell her business like that, because you have some men who are just messed up. They're very, very fucked messed up. So you have some men who that's their purpose. They just want to populate and leave women to themselves to deal with that by themselves. And because other niggas don't know the situation and the severity of what happened and why she got that one kid and why she's not with him, or maybe she might just have two kids, or however that it may be. It's sometimes necessarily not her fault, right? But it comes a time when she have to wake up and she have to take accountability of why now she's in this situation, right? But it's always the perception and the way that people see a lot of different people that throw off sometimes the greatest thing, right? So people need to understand, not every girl is trying to chase a nigga down all the time. Like, niggas got shit to do. Niggas is trying to get themselves together. They trying to, however that it may be. So that's one of the unnecessary problems, because instead of me fucking chasing you to fuck down all the time, or I'm calling, I'm doing this, like, nigga, I need to be in the house studying. I got a paper. I got something that I need to do. I need to do this, that, and the third. So actually, who's the problem? You understand what I'm saying? Now you're actually coming within my peaceful space, and you're disturbing my shit. So people have to understand that too, and she have to understand that. And that's why you have a lot of women sometimes that are back away from off of a lot of different things, right? So people, and I don't understand what's all this damn tug and pull and shit, and people want to be like, I don't know, like, so shit, I gotta write down 100. Like this shit is 120 fucking questions. Like I'm just saying, the people dealing with people, so it's like quizzes and shit. People should not be doing all of that. But what I do know is, I do believe that. Right? I just say that. That's so fucked up. I was laughing. I was laughing because what it is that it's the truth. Within a couple of months, or however that it may be, a man would know actually if he wants to marry this person, if this person is his soulmate, right? But then you also have men sometimes because they just on the last straw. He have no choice. Damn, I gotta marry this bitch. I remember a nigga did some shit like that to me. Like, are you kidding me? Like, he was like, I ain't have nothing left to do. You were just about to leave. So I just felt like I just had to ask you that, right? But I respect people, right, who understand when you get married because you have people who just actually don't understand that part of the aspect of when you're actually getting married to a person. I've always believed that shit. Like, because I believe within my world and in my covering, however that it may be, that once I say I do, it's like it's finito. It's no I'm going to go sit down, I'm going to go have a divorce. It's none of that. For that's why a lot of people, a lot of wives and a lot of husbands, when motherfuckers get sick, like I love, oh my God, I love Miss Ruby. Miss Ruby is a lady who do my hair. She's from Harlem. She's so mad because I refuse to go to Harlem to go get my hair done. I don't want nobody else to do my hair but her. But you can really tell how strong a man is. Like her husband left her when she had cancer. And you have a lot of different men who are just not built for that when it comes to that part of just being married and certain stuff like that. Because sometimes people fear that other part of being able to take care of a partner when they're sick, because they say from death do us part, right? So if this nigga becomes so capacitated or however that it may be, then I have to step in and I have to take care of him, however messed up that he may be, because this is what I agreed to when I said that through death do us part, through sick do us health, right? And you don't have a lot of people that's like that. No, you don't. That's why I love a lot of great stories, especially the story with the guy who was in the army. And because he was in the army and he got blown up in his Humvee, he was severely burned. He was like disformed and a whole bunch of other stuff. And he had a great wife. For a lot of different wives and stuff, they don't do that if a lot of crazy shit like that happen. Because now they look at certain things or certain situations as them being humiliated, right? That's why I always say for sometimes you have to look past what people have, but you have to look at something else, right? It can't only be a physical attraction. Because the nigga said, fuck all of that. It's different. I don't want to. Like what? Listen, it's totally different. Let's be 100 here. Like what? And then I don't want to be disrespectful, right? I don't want to be disrespectful. But I feel like if I'm legally married to you, because this nigga said husbands and wife, when they're legally married, they know that it's somebody else that's more attractive than their husband. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You like what? I'm just saying. That's my nigga. I have only eyes for him. It's nobody on this fucking planet that's more handsome than him. It's not another nigga on this planet that's gonna make my eye twinkle. You know what I mean? It's not another person that I'm gonna crave like him. So for a nigga to say that, oh yeah, like, because if you're feeling like that or you think that somebody is more attractive than your husband and your wife, 9 out of 10 you're going to do something that you just have no business doing. Like I understand the commonness, the being being a realist, that yeah, some people do look, but you have to understand what are you looking at. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between looking and then now you're lusting after this person, right? And I don't understand that. But I gave a shout out to the girl on Instagram because through her whole relationship, all she did was mess with married men. You know what I mean? I always had to respect things like that. You know what I mean? Especially like that because I know me. I'm legally married to a bitch. I'm just saying. And you know that because it becomes disrespectful. Only why it becomes disrespectful, it becomes disrespectful because me and you nigga went up here. As much as these people was here, I don't give a fuck about none of these people. I care about that oath and that honor that I took above and saying this shit between God, right? And people don't look at it like that, right? So they think that it's fun and they think that it's cute, and it's not fun and it's not cute. But I feel like a woman who doesn't chase marriage get married. Because not every woman is out here chasing. I don't give a fuck if I do or if I don't. But I understand and I know the difference between when I get married, ain't shit changing. I'm not running around here pulling a fucking card. You're my husband. We're married now. And you have some bitches who want to do that. They be so excited to say that. We're married now. You got to do this. You got to do that. And niggas be like, oh shit, this bitch was only just waiting to see she got that shit signed on paper. Yeah. And so when I heard young Pharaoh say that shit, you have people who will portray the part. And that's the truth. She'll do everything underneath the sun, and however that it may be, to tell people. That's why certain people stay married for a certain amount of time, or however that it may be. And that's why they doing their own little proofs and shit. You like, what's the proof? The proof is that this nigga is flying me all around the world, right? While I was with this nigga, we had top night services all the world. So how the fuck they gonna prove that? Through the shit that she got in that closet, nigga. And this is why the judge be like, hold on, something is missing here. These assets are not adding up. Because while you was with her, you provided a whole lifestyle, and that's why niggas pay like that, right? Now you're paying alimony, but you're paying for the lifestyle, guess what, dummy, that you provided her. And that's why people get what they get. And then that's why you have these greedy bitches who go back and they want more money. And then this nigga have enough time to produce enough information to counterattack their first judgment. So if people wasn't being, well, people want to be the way that they are, this is why they end up with what they have. So no, it's not that women over 30 or however that it may be are stuck being singled, or they stuck like this shit was handled to them. It's not like that. Everybody hits a point in their life where they have to grow up. Everybody's gonna come to a point in their life. Don't nobody wanna die by themselves. I'm just saying, or however that it may be. Everybody in life want to experience something, right? I'm here and I be able to understand. Like I let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell the world, and it made me cry. It made me cry every time I think about this. I had the pleasure of working with somebody, their family, whoever that it was, and well, I don't work with them anymore, so I could say just a little bit much. His wife had dementia. They was married for a long time. So by me actually working with them, I actually seen the way that a husband is supposed to love his wife through sickness and through health. He did everything. And not only on top of that, he was old. He was still 90 years old, or however that it was, right? But he was still there. And he wanted her to be there. So many different people, or husbands, however that it may be, wants their wives. I understand the medical and the financial part that a lot of people don't have, so they have no choice but to put their loved one and shit like that in a facility like that. But a man who really loves his wife, and a wife who really loves her husband when he gets sick or when he get older, no, baby, I gotta make sure you're gonna die right here in this house that we created. That's why when they say when a person is getting by in their first house, this is their first house of their first foundation of being able to be blessed and stuff like that. That's why people's first Christmas, people's first Thanksgiving, people's first celebration in their house that they're creating is very, very special like that. Especially when you have a house like that, right? So then the second thing was they said that it's very weird. I would. Do I have any guys on here? Please, 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 please. I don't care if I can't see you. Just say okay, because I want to answer. I want somebody to answer this question. I'm very, very honest. Well, I'm now I gotta ask my brother, because the girl said, "Who do a guy love the most? Do a guy love the girl that he lied to the most, or the girl that he tells the truth to?" You heard what I said? Do a guy love the girl that he lied? Do the guy love the girl? How did they say the guy who they said who love? Damn it! Stop being tongue twister. They said, and I wish a guy would have answered. Do the guy love the girl the most, the one that he lied to? Do he love her more than the girl that he tells the truth to? I always say that. For you want to hear my answer? I think I solved it. For I feel like the girl that he's lying to the most is the one that he really loves, if he's in that arena, right? However that it may be. Because he understands that. It sounds fucked up, really do. It sounds messed up. But I always say that for a nigga who's just going to tell the truth. Yeah, I did this, I did that, and I did this. he don't really understand. He don't care, right? He's not sparing her feelings. So on that aspect, people show people for who they are. Please, everybody be woke. I have never seen like so much hot topics about a whole bunch of different things, and the corruption and the manipulation of people, right? So some of y'all guys out there need to know that. Not every girl is just so oppressed like every day. Like, oh my God, this is that the third. Like, no, nigga. You got some people that's trying to click, and bait, and they actually trying to get themselves together. I always say that. Real discipline could put somebody where they need to go in 12 months. Your life can change in 12 months with hard discipline. That's why I always promote like a person who goes to the gym. That's why people who go to the gym faithfully are always looked at differently. Only why they looked at differently is because they have discipline. It takes a person discipline to be able to get up to go to the gym every day at 5 o'clock to stick to their routines and stuff like that. So that let people know that I live on a routine. You know what I mean? And most importantly, I understand the importance of having a healthy lifestyle, the way that I eat, the people who I have around me, the shit that I want to go. So that's a different circle. That's a different mindset of a person. So a person like that, they're very, very cautious, and they really don't have patience and time for people's bullshit. Especially like that. People at a certain age should know better, right? So it just comes to the point of time where that's why you have to always keep in mind of just looking at certain things that's going on. Yeah. And people can't hold people apart. That's why I always like that. For even when you get in with people like that, like that's mad weird. Like I don't even know why people like, how many girls you been with? Like what the fuck? Why would you even ask that? Or how many niggas you been with? Like I don't understand that part. However that you're gonna yeah, stupid. You're gonna understand once we do whatever. Cause my nana always say that. As much as somebody want to sugar it over, they want to sweep this, that, and the third. A man knows when a girl is ran through. As much as she want to do this, as much as she want to do that, a man is going to know how bad her stuff is damaged, right? And then they look at it like that, right? Kevin Gates is burnt out. I always say that, right? And he like, nah, I don't want no washed up. This is that and the third, you know. You have some older women who are washed up, but you have some older women, they're not washed up. They're not washed up at all. And I always say that for a woman who actually know how powerful her whole essence of who she are, and then she knows how powerful her energy is from her twat. She's not just laying down, and she's not just sleeping with everybody, because she knows that it's a privilege to come over here, right? She's not going to allow everybody to say that they have had sexual intercourse and shit like that with her, because she knows who she is. And a lot of people don't understand that, right? I don't care. People don't care about none of that. Rich, poor, however it is. Once a person understand who they are and they know their worth, they walk differently. So it is what it is. Who is this pimp nigga? This pimp nigga is making me sick. It's a guy on there talking about people are needy and shit like that. Like, and I always said that shit before. You like, why? Because when a dude is actually dealing with a woman, he can be able to tell her worth anything, her worth before he actually talked to her. You mean, what do you mean by that? About how she keep up with herself, right? It's always been like that, right? But how she keep her nails, she keep her toes done, she keep her hair done, like the small little maintenance and shit that she do, right? So then he don't have a problem if maybe she asks for that. But a person who just never did no shit like that, and then now because you looking at it because maybe he have that, he's not entitled to do shit for you. You know what I mean? You should already have that emotion for what it is, right? And then when people do that, people always think that they're supposed to do that. You can't control somebody's giving in the way that they want to do it. That makes it tainted, and that's what makes people think that it's being forced or however, because now you're not doing it from out of a kind, genuine place. You're doing it because I'm forcing you to do it, and nobody should feel like that. I shouldn't feel like I'm forcing you, and the other person on the other end shouldn't feel like I'm forcing you to do that. And the shit should just be natural, and it should to go the way that it needs to go. But that was very funny. I'm cracking up with people. People fucking themselves. Like I say that stuff all the time. They're messing up their a whole lot. But I always say that though. That be like the down slide sometimes of
because of one penalty in somebody's life, and it could be on both sides. One penalty on one person's life is like it cancel out everything. So then I have to have people be really, really strong in who they are and what they believe in, because somebody is telling you like, nah, I just don't want to mess with you, shorty, or however that it needs to be. People should be comfortable enough when people be like, okay, well that's cool, it's all right, because whatever you don't like, somebody else is gonna like. You know what I mean? And whatever somebody might think that is broken, somebody's gonna come through and they're actually gonna bring certain shit to life. That's like planting a good seed. A good seed is when people see that you are a good, genuine person within whatever that you need. Because sometimes from people, right? People are looking for a lot other, right? And the guy was saying to the girl, "What do you bring?" Right? And everybody gets it wrong. I'm gonna say my shit. What I bring is balance. You like what? Balance, because without balance you can't have peace. Without peace you can't have happiness. Without happiness you can't have real true love. All of that other shit could come later. But when you have that a clean cycle within it, and you can actually see people for who they are. I don't care how much dirt, like people be like diamonds in the roughs and shit. You have a beautiful diamond, you have a beautiful person. Sometimes you just gotta wipe it off a little bit just to see their shine, right? Because it's nothing like that. It would be crazy. Like, oh shit. Who I like? I had a dream about. I was dreaming about somebody. It fucked me up. So people are dreaming about people. That was crazy. Like I was like, oh my god. I always say that, especially when I dream about people. I don't have no business dreaming, and I just woke up because I was just took a nap, and it kind of like messed me up, like really, it really did. So that lets me know that people are thinking about people, or it's true. Like people do dream about people. So if people don't understand that, it is true. The same way people are dreaming about people, people are dreaming about people too. So that's another like confirmation about something, right? Maybe somebody need to hear that, right? So I always like to say, for people on their mind, you'll be surprised, right? I just found that shit out yesterday, that a lot of people don't know. Well, I always say that, for when we sleep, we dream, right? I always, but I like them unexpected dreams, like them dreams that you wake up and like, yo, why was I just dreaming about those person? That's like a vision or something like that, or like a sign, or like somebody's worried, or however that it may be, right? I always say that, right? So y'all guys, we will. I guess I'm gonna keep talking about it. It's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I can't stand an ignorant ass man though. That's the one thing that pisses me off. And then we be fighting, like, cause I'll be like, yo. And it'd be so funny. I love doing that too. Like, I shouldn't tell my secret. I love when the niggas like in the Phantom. He's in a very, very expensive car. However, he's with his friends and shit like that. I'll be the one who don't look. That's how cause I'm not a car whore. You have women who like, they bet off of niggas buy their cars and buy what they have, and I have always been like that. Always, I walk past, and that shit be so funny. Like, this bitch ain't look. They be look. You can feel a nigga looking at you too, and I be like, no. I steady walk. I keep walking, because you have some things that just doesn't oppress people. So I always like that. Nigga can have all of this shit in the world, but this nigga is an ass. He's retarded. He have no type of literacy. I can't say that word. Some words is real tongue twister, but he have no type of emotion. And the way that he talk is just very, very ignorant. So this nigga, he was so handsome. He was just so fucking beautiful. And it be like that for girls. For now, I just opened my mouth and I just destroyed anything. That fantasy. It be like, shh. Like, oh hell no. I don't like that. And I'm like that shit too. If I'm sitting down by myself and I'm eating and I'm drinking or however, I don't need you to buy me shit. You like what? Some girls be like, oh, thank you. Like, I didn't ask you for that. I'm real quick like that, especially if I'm wherever. I'll be like, don't have nobody send shit over here. I don't want nobody sending me no bottles. I don't want nobody paying me none of that. Like, it's cool. I'm cool. I'm all right. And people don't understand. Like she just turned me down, because nothing that you're trying to do is oppressing me, nigga. Because you trying to pay for my food. You trying to send. That's supposed to. No. And then it's be so funny, because I'll be like, oh shit, you ever do? Well, I don't know if girls ever did that. Especially for somebody like, yeah, you think I'm not pressed. And I'm Becky. She's like, what? he wants to buy you something to eat. And you'll have the ditzy one like, oh, really? She'll go over there and I'm at the table just shaking my head. Not me. I'm going to send this one over. Because she's going to, everything or however your emotion is, she going to give you everything that you're looking for. Right? That's how some women are. And it's not that I'm being ignorant to the fact of whatever it is. It's just that you just have some women or some people that's just not the one. Like you just have some niggas that's just like that too. Like, bitch, if you don't get away from me, why are you even talking to me? And you have some people who they have the right to say that, especially when they know it. I think people should just smell people. Like, what do you mean by smell people? People smell the desperation within them because they want something from out of them. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Then somebody said, I know when I'm ready for love is when I'm ready to sacrifice my peace. I'm not sacrificing shit. You like, what? That's the most dumbest shit I ever. Nobody should sacrifice their peace for love. You like, why? Because if you really love me, you would want me to stay in peace. Because love brings peace and balance. So now I have to sacrifice my peace to go through this fucking fucked up ass ride with you? You're out of your mind. And people shouldn't think like that. And that's how people get lost. They get lost, they get bitter, they get discouraged. It ain't nothing like seeing a girl like that get discouraged like that. And that's the power sometimes that both parties have with people. And messing up a whole bunch of different people. And now people don't even want to deal with people. And that's how people become content with just being all over the place. Right? And I always look at that for you niggas. Y'all respect them women who don't tell people. Like I used to say that shit to my cousin. My cousin was like that. Like, damn, bitch, you just met a nigga and he know where you and your kids stay at. Like that shit is like no brainer. Like nobody should know where you live. Especially if you dealing with a nigga like that, he should not know where you live for a minute. And people always do that. That's why niggas get killed. That's why niggas get hurt. That's why people cars and shit get destroyed and shit like that. Because you don't even really know this nigga like that, but he knows where you live at. Like he's in your personal space like that. You know what I mean? So you're like, Andrew, what do? You go meet somewhere else. However you want to be. But when you're dealing with a woman like that, it should be totally different. And then especially women with kids like that, it should be totally different. Like niggas, she didn't even meet kids for like a while. You like, what is a while? Shit, I need to know that my kids is safe, however that it may be. Or most importantly, women like that, before I even bring you around my kids like that, I gotta make sure this shit is like finito, nigga. Me and you gonna be together forever. Because women should be like that. Because shit, nobody kids, your kids, however that may be in a cycle of just being around a whole bunch of niggas. And that's, girls don't think like that. And that's why a whole bunch of people, I would feel like that, especially as a woman. Like, damn. That's how women be thinking. Like, damn, nigga, you at your fourth girlfriend? And you want me to bring my kid there? You're out of your mind. We're not even gonna play these games. And that's how some women be. Or, some dudes be like, this bitch is crazy. I'm about to I'm going down here. I'm gonna go file these papers. Because the most important part is making sure kids have a suitable place to live and they have a safe environment. And that be the beautiful thing about kids who are always like that, especially like, don't nobody want to be destructive to somebody's home or however that it may be. But when you have eyes on you, always like that shit. I'm not saying like that. It's just a different momentum. It's just a different force of that, right? Because when you have eyes looking on you, that's like a proud moment. Like, what? I don't know. What you doing, nigga? I'm going shopping for my family. This nigga going shopping for the family. Like, what? Like, niggas should be proud about that, like, little man and shit like that. Like, and that bitch who did that to that nigga, I wish I knew who she was, because I would whoop her ass. You like, why would I say that? Because you have these women who always put bad things in these men back. Like, he didn't have to put her and her son on his will, and then she still robbed him. I'm just saying that, and now that robbed him. And I hate when guys get robbed. You like, what do that mean when guys get robbed of a happily ever after? When guys get robbed of actually understanding and actually knowing what real true love is. Because if he would have really went with somebody who actually seen him, and that's what a lot of people don't know. When people actually see you for who you are, then the results are going to be different. For if he would have really went with somebody who really loved him for who he was, not because of his money, not because of his car, not because of all of the stuff that he have and the shit that he do for her, but she actually cares for him, she would have never robbed him. She would have been more appreciative that he did that, especially if that's not his kids. And then on the other shit like that, I would have joked my motherfucking son up like that. How the fuck? And women are not like that. For nigga, I know that's not your father, but we live up in this motherfucker, however that it may be. And he's about to be my husband, so that makes him your stepfather. So what? I just turned my hat around. That shit made me want to fight. And women need to be like that because that's disrespectful how you want to look at it. I'm just saying that is disrespectful, especially if you in his house and he's not your father, but he's providing. That's a difference. Niggas don't have to be niggas' biological father, but if a nigga is providing for you and he's making a safe ass environment for your little asses, so you can be able to do whatever you need to do, then you need to understand that, right? And then I love when it get to that point, even though this nigga's not his dad. That's why it's good that when some guys are getting in these women lives like that, that they create their own fucking relationship with these kids and shit like that. However that it might be, however it may be, because it's nothing like certain kids understanding that. And you have certain kids who understand that, and you have certain kids that be like, yo, I don't care about none of that. Yeah, I had a dad or whatever, whatever, but he still accepted me and he still loved me like if I was his. So for that shit, I respect him like that. So when you have kids and you have mothers who draw that shit in the line from the beginning, from the rep, then it would have been a whole different outcome. So my kids, or however that it might be, they ain't gonna say no disrespectful shit like that because they under. Who is watching me? I just heard somebody's name. Oh my god, in my head. So now you understand that, right? So that's disrespectful. Like what, nigga? You kidding me? That's very disrespectful, right? You like all of that other shit, meeting and that shit. That's no. But can he like discipline or however? Hell yeah. Like you like what the fuck? No. It's not like the niggas joking him up and doing that other shit. Now that's some old totally weird shit. But hell yeah, he can be like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? I however that it need to go. Nigga, no, you need to fly it right and you need to get it together. Or even put that little nigga on punishment or however that it is. And that's what it is. And people be delusional and shit like that. Especially if I'm loving you and I'm doing a whole bunch of different things, there's nothing wrong. Because what happened? Him, I, however it may be, I'ma love you like you mine. I know I didn't push you out, but you still gonna have to show some type of respect. And that shit put a whole bunch of different shit within people's relationships. And that's why people's relationships and that's why people marriages and shit be messed up like that. And you can't get mad however the other person on the other end, however that it may be, nigga. You know what I mean? Niggas be salty or however that it may be. How fuck you gonna be salty at me or however that it is? Like, and niggas wanna, some people feel some type of way about that. Like, it's not about that. It's just about the respect thing. And people don't have respect. So because people don't have respect and people are just trying to get over on people at the end, like that bitch almost stole $1,000,000. I would have sued her motherfucking ass too. For real. You don't steal from, how the fuck you stealing from your love? That's like, I don't understand that. Like, how the fuck are you ordering and you doing a whole bunch of other different shit? Like, bitch, that's not your money. That's still his. You like, nah, that's where it come from grownness and shit like that. Like, babe, I'm about to order this, that, and the third. Like, I'm about to get it. And then let this nigga be like, all right, babe, it's cool. You can do it. You can do this, that, and the third. And people don't look like that, right? Because people are selfish. And they think like that. For I would want somebody to be like that, however that it may be. Like, so you just gonna take my shit and you just gonna to ignore me. You're gonna get 10 times more anyway because that's just how some people are. I'm a lover, you're a healer, and you're a giver, however that it may be. Then you're gonna get it. Congratulations! Didn't I tell y'all that Beyonce was a billionaire? Right? Isn't that crazy how it just is all up on social media? That she just became the first billionaire, and I just talking about her and Jay-Z becoming a powerhouse and becoming billionaires and a whole bunch of different stuff. So congratulations. I don't know who the hell is working on being very, very successful. But everything that I say on my channel always come to pass. So you women out here, stop being so pressed to be married. If you're going to get married, it's going to be in your own clause. Don't search for it. Don't look for it. Always go over and make sure you know what it is and how it is to be a wife. You niggas out there, you understand and you know what it is to be a husband. Because sometimes people have to just make time to understand. Like sometimes people, sometimes you have to be home. Like, what do you mean? You have to understand that part of being able to be like, and I love that. That is so beautiful because even that, a nigga who's on the road and he do this that and the third, if he really like you like that, he really love you like that, he gonna make sure his schedule goes around to always make sure he spend time with you, that he sees you and shit like that. So it all depends on the heart of the person. And people can't make people choose people, however that it may be. It have to be natural, right? Everybody want to talk about soulmates, this is that and the third. I love shit like that. You like what? Because you just have some shit that just don't get old. Like, you have niggas who play around, do a whole bunch of different fun shit, and it's like you do people for all of your fucking, you know, people for all of your life. The energy, the activity, and the certain things that you're gonna do is just gonna, it's gonna feel like every day, right? People should understand. They got it. They get it. Yeah. Yeah, don't be listening. I don't know about all these people and stuff like that. And like what? Because I was just thinking, like, I was just really thinking because he really, like, the dude turned me off when he said that. Like, you gotta have something. Like, I understand people gotta have something. I understand that part, but like, when do something become enough? I'm just saying. So now, like, damn, you were pocket watching around this bitch. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I would say that stuff all the time. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, you right. I'll tell the person you right. I'm not. You right. I'm not your cup of tea. Yeah, you right. I'm not your cup of tea. You right. You right. You gonna find out though. You gonna find out who really your cup of tea, and that's what it be. Cause a chick can be, well, I can't say that because I'm very work. I'm very, I work. I'm a very workaholic. But yeah, I'm not even gonna front. I work. I'm a grinder, very hard. Especially now, the grind has changed, totally different, very different. So I always say that people be trying to figure out people's end game. That's what's so beautiful about the unknown and about God, because you don't know people's end game. So since people didn't know people's end game, they don't know. This is why people don't get in certain things. It's crazy. It happens all the time. Damn, I knew I should have talked to her. I knew I should have kept her around. I knew I should have gave her the opportunity. Now she's just beautiful. hmm Love you niggas out there. So I always say, I don't know what's wrong with these people, but people are delusional. You like what? People are delusional. Mm. So yes, congratulations to all of my beautiful queens out there, not baddies. I always say that shit sometimes, but congratulations to them beautiful women out there who understand your value, who are trying to do as much as you can. I just like that you try, that you have the initiative to try to do a lot of different things that maybe you thought that you couldn't do. It's a very big stipulation right now because people have got to a certain age that they feel like they're not capable of going back to school. They feel like they're not capable of doing that. And I always like to say, for time doesn't define people, only you do, right? I love seeing the stories when people are like 99 years old and they went back to school or they finished something. It don't let people of the world like stagnate you, right? I always say that. So you guys stay up. It's very interesting. Yeah, you like, yeah. But come on, then. I keep hearing this person's name. But come on, I don't know what's going on. People talking about people. Well, you like what? People didn't know. People didn't know. People didn't know. People didn't know. So you thought you was the only person that have dreams about people? You thought you was the only person that you was just seeing her face or his face? No. People have dreams about people, and it's real. Very real. hmm So until next time.